I sure wish I had this when I was younger, but one local school is using a garden full of vegetables, fruits, and flowers. It's not only a fun and educational activity for the students, but they say it has many other benefits.
That's right. And to tell us more about Tucson Country Day School's Victory Garden are Adam Weatherford and third grader Peter McDougall and fifth grader Honor Allen. Welcome to all three of you this morning. Hi. This is super exciting. I love everything that you brought. And now, are these things that are actually right from the Victory Garden, Adam?
Those are plants that those are sample plants of things that we are growing. They're all cold hardy plants. They're all on the ground. These are seedlings that we can then have for our plant sales. So they're the things that are be able to survive during this time of year.
So then tell us more about the actual garden on the school property and how kids are kind of involved in it.
Okay, well, they're involved every step of the way. From an after-school program to during the day. Different classrooms will come out probably every 30 minutes or so, once a week, depending on their own personal classroom schedule. We try to incorporate as much of the classroom curriculum, the Common Core, whatever's happening in the classroom, and then transform it into activities that they actually can get their hands on and dirty. And everything's recorded and charted and organized. For us to move forward with educational stuff in the space.
So what do you really think the kids are gaining or the benefit they're getting from doing this?
I mean, besides being able to wrap their brains around 3 different ways to multiply the same equation, they actually can look at a plot of land and say, I can use this same space in the same way to figure out that math problem. But there's this idea that there's nature deficiency disorder is a term that's been thrown around out there, where students of this age don't have the ability or the means to get out into space and to create that natural learning environment for themselves, that natural drive to find answers and questions. And this is one of the ways that the school has been able to incorporate that into their life, where they can go out there and say, why is that frog on that plant, or why is that bird over there? And it kind of gives us a way to ignite that natural curiosity.
Well, I think this is absolutely brilliant and something that I would want my kids to get to do. Now, Peter, you have gotten to take advantage of the Victory Garden and even gotten to take lessons in the garden. What is that like? What's your favorite part about it?
Well, I always like to dig and get dirty and do like these little mini projects. It's really fun, and like right now we're seeing which of these compost better. We have like an orange peel, a plastic cup, and a banana peel.
There could be some banana peels in there.
How cool. So you're really learning a lot.
Yeah.
I think that's so cool. Honor, what's your favorite activity so far that you've got to do with all of this?
I really like doing the flower place. I like to do the arches with the rocks, and I like to learn about how all the plants grow.
So lots of different things that we're learning in the garden. Adam, give us another example of maybe a lesson you would teach.
One that is most popular is when I think 4th grade does Native American studies. We incorporate some of their actual practices of getting nutrients back inside the soil. One would be using, I'm from South Carolina and grew up on oysters, so every year I go back home, I bring those shells back and then we have them in the garden. But then part of the hands-on activity is then grinding those shells to get the calcium back inside the soil. Then we also use the 3 sisters method of growing corn, squash, and beans. We talk about some of the the nitrogen cycles that happen scientifically through the plants, but then we talk about the actual logical reasons why the plants work well together. And that's usually a pretty popular one because you actually see corn stalks growing. And we did an experiment to try to grow some in the fall. It did really well for a little while, but then everything froze, which is something that we deal with here, which is just a part of the cycle. You just have to learn how to move and go through the different stages that you see.
And I'm hearing a lot of, the kind of the educational portion of this, and, they learn so much and they're having so much fun. But I'm assuming, just like a lot of people, why they garden is it's also probably a very calming thing to do.
Yeah, the space itself lends it to a little personal freedom. So we do the journal entries first, and then every class that comes out does a little bit of the hard math or hard science or literacy part. And then we have about a good 15 minutes to 20 minutes to do whatever projects. which is watering, weeding, chopping up compost. There's a lot of science out there that talks about the occupational therapy aspects of it for youngsters out there to push and pull and to move and to have purpose in their body, to like really know what they're doing. But the calming aspect is every once in a while, like maybe twice a week, I have different groups that come out and we do a similar experience where they can just be in their own space and time. And I have some students that just need a break every once in a while throughout the day, and that's where we kind of go to water the plants and to check on plants that they put in the ground. So it turns out pretty good.
That's brilliant. And I know before we run out of time, we should talk about, this takes money to make a garden like this happen, for all these supplies. How do you fund this garden?
One way is that, some of the recycled materials on the table, we use as much recycled materials as possible, but then the garden club, both of these guys are in, we generate plant sales where we start things from seeds and then cultivate them inside of our makeshift greenhouses and then sell them to parents or whoever comes through on the campus. But we've also been graced with a couple grants this year through their efforts throughout the day. The Western Growers Association of Arizona has funded us some money to keep this going. Donors Choose is a really good organization that we've gotten some supplies like this composting observation tank. There's a lot of people out there that appreciate what's going on, and I also appreciate the ability to make it happen.
Well, that's great. Really quick, you two, thumbs up for this? We like the garden? Yeah, thumbs up. Thank you all three for coming in today. Thank you. Now, open enrollment for the 2016-2017 school year at Tucson Country Day School begins February 1st, and you can attend an open house on March 8th from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. They are located at 9239 East Wrightstown Road. For more information, you can call 296-0883 or log on to tcdcharterschool.com.